Welcome to session 6 of SSB Pro Mentorship Program. Over the past 5 days, that is last week, we've covered all the basics of what SSB looks for, what are officer like qualities, how do you inculcate them in yourself, what are the specific tasks that you are made to undergo. Especially on day 2, we saw the screening tests, OIR and PPDT, and subsequently, we saw all the psychology tests in depth. What is the rationale behind giving these tests to you? How do you optimize your performance? How do you give your best and also give or try to give what exactly the assessors are looking for? And how do you customize all your responses, improve your thinking, improve your qualities, which will give good psychological responses automatically? And then on day 5, we saw basics of personal interview. We covered how the interview structure is like, what all the interviewing officer focuses on, who is this person, why is the interview so important. All these things we covered. A few questions and some other deeper aspects of the personal interview were left out. So that we'll cover today. That is on day 6. So yeah, let's start with session 6. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to all. All right. So if you had revised what was covered on day 5, this is where we ended. This was the last slide. We discussed why achievements and failures are important when it comes to SSB personal interview. The IO values, whether you have learned from your own failures, whether you have displayed emotional resilience and mental strength during those challenges, and whether you have a growth mindset overall in life. If there is any achievement, do you get satisfied with that and stop there? Or even if you have failed, do you get bugged by it and you just give up on life? Is that your attitude, or do you actually learn from your failures and also try to grow on whatever achievements you already have? Is overall your growth mindset? So that is what the interviewers are interested in. Now let us go to the next set of questions that the interviewing officer is interested in. That is your hobbies and interests. So why are these important? Many people ask me, मेरे ऐसे कुछ खास hobbies नहीं है. I am not a very happening person. Simple पढ़ाई करता हूँ, college जाता हूँ, आता हूँ. I take care of my family and that is all. I don't have any special hobbies. और even people ask me ऐसे unique hobbies बताओ जो interviewing officer को impress करेगा. Nothing required. See, basically, if you have good hobbies and interests, it all necessarily reveals whether you have a deeper personality outside of work, outside of studies, etc. अगर बचपन से सिर्फ पढ़ाई की है या सिर्फ कोई स्पोर्ट खेला है, then you do not have an all-round personality. I already told you why officers are expected to be good at everything, and because the nature of job is such, you need to be good at multiple things, even if you are not perfect at anything. So your hobbies and interests essentially reveal that you are that kind of a person. You have personal depth, you have some own interests, you have a life outside of studies, outside of work, etc. Overall personality depth दिखाती है. And कंसिस्टेंसी इन योर इंटरेस्ट मैटर. ऐसा नहीं है कि आज मैं जियोपॉलिटिक्स कर रहा हूँ, कल मैं फिलॉसफी पे चला गया, परसों मैं ट्रैकिंग करने जा रहा हूँ. दैट इज ऑल्सो अ साइन दैट यू आर एन एक्सप्लोरर एंड यू आर नॉट स्टिकिंग टू एनीथिंग. योर हॉबीज आर समथिंग विच जेन्यूनली गिव यू हैप्पीनेस, एंड एक इंसान के पास कुछ ही ऐसे चीज़ें होती है विच genuinely give you happiness over the long time. So if you have discovered such hobbies and if you are pursuing them over a period of time, it shows that you are consistent in your hobbies, and that has also added some layer of depth to your personality, and it has improved you as a person overall. So that counts in SSB, and it also shows in some way your passion and dedication, because these are not forced on you, right? पढ़ाई करनी है, एग्जाम पास करना है, करियर चाहिए, जॉब चाहिए, उसके लिए यू आर स्टडिंग. इट इज़ नॉट लाइक मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर स्टडिंग आउट ऑफ ओन इंटरेस्ट कि हाँ साइंस सीखना है, मैथमेटिक्स फार्मूलाज कैसे डिराइव करना है, वो आर्ट सीखना है. नन ऑफ अस डू इट फॉर दैट. वी डू इट बिकॉज वी नीड अ जॉब, वी नीड टू पास एग्जाम्स, एंड दैट इज डिफरेंट. But hobbies and interests are something you are taking on your own. No one is forcing you to do them. It shows that you are genuinely passionate about something, and if you like something, you are working towards it dedicatedly. वो एक बहुत अच्छा quality है which an officer should have. Your hobbies also reveal that basic quality in you. And obviously, you are a person who can balance both your professional and personal life. That is also called your work-life balance. That also is revealed when you have some constructive hobbies or interests. So, what are some questions that may come in this series? It may be from when you have started this hobby, or how long have you been pursuing them? How regularly do you involve yourself? मतलब हफ्ते में कितने बार करते हो, या महीने में कितनी बार you, or kitna time you invest in this particular hobby or interest. If you have pursued it for such a long time, have you taken it seriously? Do you have any achievements in it? Although it is not necessary, but it shows that एक लेवल तक तुमने किया है तो कितना एफर्ट डाला होगा, कितना इंटरेस्ट लिया होगा, वो थोड़ा सा इंडिकेशन मिलती है इफ यू से यू हैव सम अचीवमेंट. And over the last few months, last few days, do you have any recent highlights, recent developments related to that hobby or interest? That is what the interviewing officer is interested in. And a very bad thing to do, or the biggest mistake to avoid in this series of questions, is do not try to exaggerate or do not try to fake your hobbies. It gets revealed very, very easily. Trust me, a lot of people who I have interviewed also have gone on to tell some hobbies which are very impressive when they say, जैसे कोई फिक्शन पढ़ता है या हाई एल्टीट्यूड ट्रैकिंग जाता है, ऐसे अगर कुछ बोल दिया, it is very easy to fake, recognize it when a person is faking it. So do not try that misadventure. Be very authentic, and whatever hobby or interest you are mentioning, be ready to have a cross question, have a discussion over it. And if you are unable to do that, then obviously you are either lying or you have not come prepared. So avoid both those mistakes. Now we'll see another line of questioning which the interviewing officer usually takes. Your friends and social interaction. These are essentially related to your factor 2 and factor 3 qualities. That is your social adaptability, emotional intelligence, your style of handling conflicts, whether you are a team player, your ability to work in a team and put the team's interests above yours. This is overall his area of interest for him to understand whether you will be a good military person. So, in order to probe that, in order to get through all the layers and see whether you are genuinely a socially adaptable person, an emotionally intelligent person, etc., he tries to ask these simple questions like how many close friends do you have? Overall, how many friends have you made, or who are the best friends? How do you interact with them on a daily basis? What are the common points that bring you guys together? Or if I ask your best friend, or if I take a few best friends of yours and then ask them to tell me about this person, the candidate giving the interview, what will they tell? What will they tell about you? Or are there any conflicts which you face with your friends? In what areas do you argue or fight? And can you give me any recent examples of such incidents? And over the past few days, few months, have you made any new friends? Or let's say in the future, if you want to make a new friend, what are some attributes you look for? How do you choose your best friends? Or does it happen organically? All these questions are targeted at observing whether you have those factor 2, factor 3 qualities in sufficient amounts. That is all. And these social interactions, your social life outside of academics, outside of hobbies, will reveal your ability to work in close teams. And if there are any conflicts, if there are any interpersonal hiccups that come, are you able to handle them? Do you have the natural ability to work in a group environment? Is what makes you a good officer, and it is very, very essential for a military person. So this is what the interviewing officer is trying to check for. Okay. And then another line of questioning will be on your leadership and initiative. So some questions maybe have you had any situation where you led a team, you took a position of responsibility, a decision making position, and was there any such situation? Or if yes, then did you have any conflict? Or even if you did not take any such position, in general in life, have you had any conflict where you had to take some initiative or you have to take some decision? ऐसे कुछ situation आई थी क्या? And was there any instance where you were under pressure and you were about to take a decision, or did it work or did it backfire? Or any initiative in life which you have taken without any external, nudging, on your own? Did you take an initiative and did you, put efforts towards it? These are some simple situational questions that he may put here and there, or he may frame this as an entire, questionnaire also of, let's say, 6 to 8 questions. And then he is interested in whether you will take a calm approach, whether you will actually think about it and give a genuine response. Do you think logically? Do you structure your thoughts? Because these are very अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड क्वेश्चन, राइट? ऐसे कोई सिचुएशन लाइफ में सोच के बताओ जहाँ पे तुमने कोई लीडरशिप क्वालिटी दिखाया विच इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ nowhere. You will suddenly be taken aback if you have not revised, if you have not gone prepared. Suddenly ऐसे क्या सोचोगे लाइफ में? इतने सारे चीज़ें कर लिया, where do you pinpoint and say कि हाँ, this is one instance where I showed leadership quality? So you need to prepare for these kind of questions and go. Otherwise, you may just take a pause. You may take 5-10 seconds for yourself, take a deep breath, think about something, and then answer on the spot. So the interviewing officer is basically focused on that, your calm approach, your logical thinking, and whether in life have you taken responsibility? Do you show genuinely those leadership and initiative qualities? And an ideal strategy for you would be there are a few frameworks. These are used in HR, psychology, etc. You can use methods like STAR. STAR is situation, task, action, result. So whenever these situational questions are given, you can just take a pause, think of what was the situation, ओवरऑल कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या था, मतलब कॉलेज में था या घर पे था या कोई स्पोर्ट्स टीम में था एटसेट्रा. व्हाट वाज द सिचुएशन लाइक, व्हाट वाज योर रोल देयर, एंड व्हाट वाज द टास्क एट हैंड. ग्रुप का टास्क या तुम्हारा खुद का टास्क, एनी एंड गोल और मिशन दैट हैड टू बी अकम्प्लिश्ड इज योर टास्क. तो सिचुएशन क्या था, तुम्हारा टास्क क्या था, एंड व्हाट एक्शंस डिड यू टेक. So you have a situation, you were given a task. Now you are supposed to take some actions, employ your resources, spend some time and money if required, and then try to achieve that task. So all those things that you do in order to achieve your end goal is your action. And then what was the end result? Did you achieve what you wanted to, or did you come close, or did you utterly fail? Whatever the result may have been, what happened at the end is the result. So situation, task, action, and result. If you follow this framework, if you structure your thoughts using these four words, you'll be able to give a better answer. So you can do that, and try to focus on specific role that you did or what was your contribution, because ultimately the officer is interested in knowing you as a person, knowing you as a leader, as a person who takes initiative, and not some random situation in life that came and somehow it got solved, some other people helped you. Obviously those happened, but he is focused on what your thinking was, what your approach was, how you took initiative and solved the problem is what he is interested in. So focus on your specific role and show your thought process when a question is asked which is very very unstructured, not expected. How do you gather your thoughts, how do you articulate well and give out answers on the spot? It shows that. And of all the things that you do, there will be some learning regardless of whether you succeeded or failed. There would have been some outcome, some learning highlight that would have come out of it. So try to make a note of it, or try to speak on that for one or two lines. Yeah, this is what happens when it comes to your leadership and initiative questions. Next line of questioning, very very important, is targeting your motivation to join the armed forces. Some very very basic and expected questions ये हर बार पूछते ही पूछते हैं. Why do you want to join the armed forces is 100% expected that you will be asked. If not, very rare cases, if it is not asked, it is evident from your PIQ, from your behaviors, from your other test responses already ki what is your key motivation. So 99% of the times this question is asked. Even otherwise, be sure that they somehow have judged why you want to join. So that is expected. And another flip side to it could be, why do you want to join only the forces and not some other career? Your profile is really good, you are great at your academics, you are a very good sports person, very good software guy, anything which highlights your capabilities in other careers. Why do you want to join the army and not join the other side? That is one area which reveals your genuine motivation, and whether you are thinking logically. It should not be like I am just madly motivated for the forces and therefore I am neglecting other good career options for me. Let's say you converted some very good बी स्कूल, आई एम अहमदाबाद कन्वर्ट कर लिया तुमने इंजीनियरिंग के बाद, एंड स्टिल यू वांट टू नॉट गो देयर एंड जॉइन द फोर्सेस. You should have a very strong justification for it. Otherwise, it shows that you are just, short term motivated, and maybe after joining, you will start regretting. Ki us din, if I had chosen IIM Ahmedabad over the Indian Military Academy, I would have stayed happy. ऐसे नहीं आनी चाहिए. So, you should be very rational when you take this decision, whether you want to sacrifice other careers for the army. So, that is what he is interested in. And why do you want to join only as an officer? If you are that interested in serving in the army, you can become a Jawan, JCO, especially when you are going through NDA entries or 10 plus 2 entries, jo bhi hai, Navy, TES, etc. This question may also come up because you are a fit candidate, you are so motivated to join the forces. why not join as an Agniveer? Why not join as a Jawan or equivalent ranks in the Air Force and Navy? Can be one of the questions. So you should be having an answer from your genuine thought process. I may give you a few sample answers, but actually, why do you want to become an officer and not other rank? You should be aware of it, and you should be able to put that across very well when the question is asked. And when did you decide? This is also an important thing, because if you had decided 1 week before and you are here, then it shows you are only coming out of some spark, some trigger. Let's say koi reel dekh liya, koi movie dekh liya, which suddenly motivated you, or someone just influenced you. Some friend may be giving an interview and he also called you, or some senior motivated you that fighter pilot is a really good job, or being an army officer has that glamour, has that aura. Kuch bhi bol diya, and you are suddenly here. So that reveals that you are not still motivated enough, or you have not thought about it, long enough for you to be motivated. So it is good to have, a bigger timeline for your motivation. कोई 1 साल से try कर रहा हूँ, 2 साल से try कर रहा हूँ. Whatever, it should not be 2 days, 1 week, etc. You should have thought about it, sufficiently enough for you to decide whether you are a aspirant or not. So that is usually the line of questioning that comes about your motivation. Some very, very bad practices which you should avoid. Do not give glamour based answers. Do not go on to say, I want to win the Paramveer Chakra, I want to be the youngest Ashok Chakra awardee. These are okay. These are maybe that is your motivation also, but that should not be a reason why you want to join the army. You can still win gallantry awards if you are a civilian, but you are giving your life to the forces, and 99.9% of the times it happens कि तुम्हें वो award नहीं मिलेगा, because it is only on luck, right? Captain Vikram Batra didn't win PVC because he was the only officer who was capable of it. All of his course mates were equally capable, but given the situation, he was there with that battalion in that operation, which gave him the opportunity to go and reveal his qualities and make the ultimate sacrifice. And therefore, that came. It does not mean a person should be motivated to win an award and then join the army. That also shows you are, attention seeking and glory seeking, which is also a very, very bad quality. So do not give those glamour based answers, and do not show this over patriotism also. Naturally, whatever motivation you have, if you are genuinely interested in serving the forces, serving the country, say that. Definitely that is very important, and it adds your motivation levels. But that does not mean patriotism or glamour is your core reason to join the army. That should never be your motivation. And do not give cinema references. Do not say last 2 साल पहले शेरशाह मूवी देखा, अभी recently जो भी movies आए वो देखा and I am very, very motivated. Or do not say that, because even that shows short term attraction. कोई वो नहीं है ना, बचपन का खेल नहीं है ये कि एक मूवी देख लिया and then tomorrow you want to join the army. It is not like that. You should have strong reasons. You should be able to justify it with logic, and you should show examples of why that is the dream career for you. Otherwise, you are still not there. So you are still not having enough levels of motivation. So yeah, a better approach would be you trying to connect it with your personal values, bachpan ka upbringing, or you having that inner calling of being in uniform, serving the country, serving people, traveling, everything that comes with officer lifestyle, So connect that with you as a person, your core values, your core personality also matches with what the armed forces are looking for. So if you can somehow draw that connection and explain it well, then you are actually revealing your true motivation. And also show your understanding of the forces. Try to quote some examples. If there are any recent developments that you've been following, you can quote them also when this question comes up. And genuine motivation is obviously a must have. So if you demonstrate that well enough during this line of questioning, you are through. You are, exhibiting enough motivation, and this area will be covered on its own. And yeah, many people ask me this also, whether knowledge about the armed forces, especially the service you are applying for, whether it is Army, Navy, Air Force, or even Coast Guard, how important is it to know about that service? Should I know everything about what the army has done? Should I know all the things which an officer is expected to know? Not really, because you are there as an aspirant, you are still a civilian unless you are given military training. A very, very basic level, nascent knowledge is only expected from you, and not anything more than that. So always know what you are applying for, which entry, which training academy, how much will the training be, what are you genuinely interested in. Let's say you are applying for the army and you are an engineer, whether you want to join the Corps of Signal, CME engineers versus infantry, armored, mechanf, etc. Genuinely be interested in the role or the lifestyle you are signing up for. And uh, just saying you are motivated is not enough. If you are really motivated, then you would have done some research, right? So that awareness you should have. You should know about the roles. What does the army do? What does the navy do? How many air squadrons do we have? How many commands do we have in the tri services? Where are they headquartered at? What is the rank structure like? Rank structure as in officer cadre as well as the other ranks and JCOs. And what are the training academies, etc. So try to have basic awareness of all these things, and also be aware of latest developments. जैसे ops Sindoor हो गया, and in the recent times you have seen some other small operations which the armed forces have been doing, and any recent natural calamity where the air force and army came in, any foreign exercise which the navy participated in, anything which has happened over the past 6 months, 1 year. If you can cite them, if you can give them as examples, then it shows that you have done your research, you are genuinely interested in this lifestyle, and not out of अभी कॉल लेटर आ गया तो चले गए इंटरव्यू देना, ऐसे कैजुअल नहीं है. दिस पर्सन इज जेन्युइनली इंटरेस्टेड, वो दिखती है. So try to have as much basic knowledge as possible. And why that knowledge matters, I've tried to explain here. It shows genuine interest in service. It demonstrates that you are able to go online, search about it, go through authentic sources, and not just give a GPT prompt. Instead, you go to official websites, you undergo some amount of research, and then come up with these answers. And it also reflects some informed decision making. You are not choosing the armed forces out of haste. You are actually interested in it, and you have genuinely done your homework before choosing this career. That also is revealed if you have good knowledge. So yeah, the interviewing officer is not expecting any expert level knowledge. You are still an aspirant. You have not undergone any sort of military training. So none of the other stuff or higher level stuff are expected from you. He is also not expecting tactical details कि ये सेक्शन में कितने बंदे होते हैं, एक गोली की कितना रेंज होती है, एक वेपन की, सॉरी. एंड इट मे कम अप अनलेस यू जेन्युइनली साइट कि मेरे को गन्स में इंटरेस्ट है और आई हैव बीन रिसर्चिंग अ लॉट अबाउट वेपन्स. अगर ऐसे कुछ नहीं बोलोगे तो ही इज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग यू टू नो टैक्टिकल डिटेल्स ऑफ द आर्म्ड फोर्सेस and very very historical specifics ki when was this regiment raised. All these also are not expected, although if you know them it's good for you, but they are not expecting that level of knowledge from a candidate who comes for SSB. So yeah, this is the most misunderstood or frequently asked line of questioning. That is your rapid fire questions or stress questions, which are purposefully put to put you under stress, put you under pressure, and see how you react. So the purpose of these questions are to see how you react under pressure, because as I keep telling almost every session, this is a very very high pressure job. You are signing up for war, for life and death situation, for high stake environments every day. So it is always stressful, it is always under pressure that you will be working. So unless you show that basic ability to handle stress when you are an aspirant itself, it will be very difficult for you in the future. So that quality is being observed. And your emotional control, let's say some very disturbing questions come up ki, I want to run away with your sister, what will you do? Or let's say I'll propose to your girlfriend in front of you, what will you do? So these are triggering questions, right? You may just lose your control, you may get emotional. So whether you have that control in you, whether you can handle those questions with a smile, or whether you have that maturity to understand ki this is not actually happening, this is a question, and if you are in that situation, what you would actually do. So that is what they are expecting, and you should not lash out or you should not get uncomfortable. You should not say I am very very disgusted by this question and I won't answer. Then it shows that you lack emotional control. That is also another bad quality for an officer. And they're also looking for your thinking speed. ऐसे questions जब आती है, you cannot take all the time. You need to take a few seconds maybe if required and then answer on the spot. So that also reveals how much fast you can think and come up with answers. Stress handling is again correlated to your ability to handle pressure. So yeah, that is the overall purpose when these questions are asked. A few examples are, why should I select you when there are so many candidates? Why should I select you only? I'm not interested in you. Why are you here? Like, he may make some facial expressions also if required. And why were you rejected earlier? You are anyway rejected. So why are you here again? Are you shameless? These questions are not meant to make you feel demotivated, or they are not intended at putting you down. I told you this is the purpose. How you react under pressure, whether you are emotionally resilient, whether you can think fast, and whether you can handle stress. These are what they're looking for, even in such uncomfortable questions. What are your weaknesses? Tell me some examples. And if this is such a big weakness, why should I select you in spite of having those weaknesses? I have other perfect candidates anyway. Or why do you think you failed? You have examples of failure previously, either getting not recommended by SSB or failing in some exam or any such thing in your life. You have already failed. Why do you think you will be a great officer? These kind of questions are intended to put you under stress and see how you will react. That is all. You don't need to take any of those personally, and you don't need to be overconfident also when those come. Be neutral. Take that question as it comes and try to answer logically. That is all. And how do you respond? You be honest. Whatever your natural response is, give that out. Be calm when that questions are asked. Do not get triggered. Do not take anything personally, and answer in a logical way. Structure your thoughts well. Think of them in your mind before answering if you want to, and put them across in a structured, logical way. That is all you need to know when these questions are asked.